Oh,
Go.
shit balls. Uh, I can do this shit. Hold on. What the hell? Stupid YouTube.
All you gotta do is talk. They could hear you.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. I also want to look at the chat. And ain't nobody on here yet.
That's alright. Start talking. They'll pile in. That's how that works sometimes. Especially when it's just like it just pops up.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Oh.
We're on. Go ahead.
Come on, go ahead, talk. Just like fucking Tanner.
Oh God, no. God, no. Please.
That's what the fucking sounded like, Tanner.
Anyway, guys, welcome. Um, the host is obviously that dude bear, so I'm not gonna steal anything from him. I have about an hour to do this, so floor is yours, my friend.
Well, it all depends on what you want me to talk about,
I
other
don't.
than all the
It,
bullshit that's been happening.
it's a it's a podcast. I don't care. I usually let people talk about whatever the fuck they want to talk about. But by bullshit, I wouldn't really know what you. Well, there's tons of it, but which direction do you want to look at?
Well, there's the up direction for the bullshit. There's the down direction for the bullshit. There's the west side for the bullshit. There's the east side for the bullshit.
Attack the bullshit. Then I give me something to start with. If that's a question, I can't answer it. What do you want to do? You want to start with my mental health?
Okay. Yeah, let's go with just give them a rundown of what all you've been through. Don't give out all the pertinent details that they don't need to know.
It's kind of fucked at this point, to be honest. I was seeing. I went and saw a doctor yesterday. Aside from the physical doctor, I also had me see a psychologist and all that other stuff. And I was, instructed to do certain things, which I did. Which I don't know. I'm not sure if I approached that the right way, but their idea was anybody that's been in the path of whatever you've done mentally that has basically leaked out onto other people. You do two things. You write out a. Most of the times they say if you write out a letter, you don't send it out. But you know, this one in particular wanted
Half
me
the
to make
times,
sure.
if you do write up that letter, you just want to hang on to it and keep
Exactly.
it
Only this
as
time was different.
a memoir.
Exactly. The only difference was this time they wanted me to make sure it got to the said people. Did that. The secondary portion of it was to give them that space to kind of like a cool down. And a lot of people, they don't like that. They like to be more like, hey, let's talk about this kind of shit. I have an I have a communication issue. I was born with. I don't communicate well when it comes to these kind of things. I don't do well with it for very various reasons. The very first reason obviously is, aside from the fact I just don't have the capability, there's, certain moments in time where I can feel like I can do it. And when I do, it's either explained wrong or it's just not self-absorbed. So I try really hard to explain it the best I
Do the
can.
best that you can.
Exactly. And there's people that understand it and there's those that don't and there's those that put in the effort to, but if at the exact same time if you don't understand it, then at this point, you may as well just give up. You can't figure it out. It's difficult. I know, I deal with it every
Well,
day. It's confusion 101. It's not just an anger disorder on top of that. My anger is very well compiled compared to how it used to be. Not compiled, but it's more organized in that sense where it doesn't affect my everyday life. Now, the reason why it's a little bit fucked is aside from the prognosis that I'm dealing with on top of the whole physical health aspect with, the effects of the alcohol from over the past course of the months was, I was literally in some pain like I was telling you earlier in the day. We've been on call pretty much the whole day through Discord, so we've discussed how like affecting liver, kidneys, all that good stuff. But kidneys are the second most resilient organ in the
Trust me,
body.
when it comes to alcohol abuse, I know all too damn well
Yeah, and
because
it's a
when
family
someone
flaw.
close to when someone close to you ends up passing that you was close to, say like a nephew, uncle, brother,
It was my
mother,
dad.
father,
It was my dad. It wasn't.
what
It wasn't the passing of a family member. It was losing somebody you love and losing your family, and then that kind of just puts you into this big circle and this big rotation of fuck. What can I do to fix this? And
and it
you
puts
really
you
can't.
into a stupor that you don't know what the fuck you're gonna do anymore.
Exactly. And then the thing is, things are a lot more complicated. You know, I try to distance myself from social media as much as possible. I've seen some things that have, raised some flags to me that it's just like, fuck, this isn't right, and or this is fucked, and this is this, and this is that. But it comes down to a point of like, this is how my mental health works. I
Yeah.
deal with things a certain way. I always have. You know this.
Mhm.
I've been known.
And there's just certain people that doesn't know how mental health
My
works.
own mother doesn't understand my mental health. So, like, people feel bad that they don't understand and that they try to understand. My own mother, my own grandmother, and my own family, I should say, my mother, my grandmother, my brother, um, brothers, they don't understand it. And I think at times it's
Yeah.
because they refuse to understand it. And how I basically approach life and how I react to it, that's two different things. Now, the way I've told to my own mother to her own face, like, if you can't understand my mental health, you shouldn't even have a place in my life, period. Because to know everything is to understand everything. That's what I was taught at one point. Now, I'm a bit more complex than most people because I'm not an open book. I'm very much shut and I'm lock and key. My default whenever I fuck up or I screw up is to pull myself away from situations. I shut down. That's just how I've always been. It's been that way since I was 8 years old. I can't help or fix that. It's a shitty turnabout, but that's just how that is.
But then good friends come along and they
I've
shed light on certain things that help.
Well, exactly. And the thing is, when I left, I left home for 5 years. My parents separated because my dad's drinking problem and everything. So they separated themselves for 5 years. I met some friends out in a different area that basically they kind of learned how to grasp on to what was going on with me a little bit easier because the two of them understood it because they had the exact same issue. Then there was the others that were just like, huh? So like you're gonna have those people that are like, huh? What? I don't get this. Why does he do this? And why is this? Like 1 minute ago he was good, and then all of a sudden, like, what happened now? It's just like I said, to know everything is to understand everything. If people don't ask
To know the
questions,
universe is to ask the trees what is going on.
well, that's part of it. And the thing is with me is I'm a very emotional person to a point where I'm sensitive as shit. I used to not be. Now I'm just sensitive to pretty much everything. Um, you know, I've had moments where, in school and even post school, at jobs and everything, I've been deemed, you know, how would I put this delicately? Not real. Plastic. I'll put it that way. And the reason being
In
is
other
because,
words,
like,
they was calling you fake when you was proving yourself to be a real person. Kind of
I am
like
a person with
Pinocchio when he
feelings like
said,
most people. I just don't deal with them the same way.
yeah,
Why?
it's kind of like
I
Pinocchio when he said, "I'm a real boy."
I can't curve it. That's the problem. And I've tried to curve it. I've tried to curve those ways of basically just avoiding things and trying to just hide in this bubble. I can't do that. That's a phobia. I know that for a fact. There's some phobia of me basically just being outside of the dome that I'm in. It sucks. It really does.
Yeah, I feel you on that one.
Um, but right now I'm just trying to mentally compensate myself and try to rebuild. And the thing is, for once I was trying to do the right thing and listen to a doctor. For once in my fucking life, listen to the goddamn doctor and do as I'm told. That's what I was attempting to do. That was the idea. And even
Yeah,
doing so,
it's not the
it still
easiest.
pissed people off. I don't see how, you know, how that makes any sense. And, you know, most people just like, I need some space to cool down, dude. You just had this freak out and everything else, and it drained that's how what I was expecting. I was not expecting to basically feel like I just got whipped by like a huge iron whip, like iron, and it just went right across the flesh. I'm an easygoing person. It's not like I basically
Until the
came to
gloves
people.
come off.
Well, the thing is, it's not like I go to people when I basically back off. It's not like I go to people and tell them fuck off. I don't do that. I try to do things as calmly and as gently as I can.
Delicately.
I pull
Yeah.
myself out of situations before, like if I know I'm in a terrible situation to where I can't have any self-control, I back the fuck up, I shut the door, and I lock it. That's basically what I do. It's like a lock and key thing. I can't bring myself to basically just bring out and talk about things. I don't do well with that. There's a word for that. I'm socially awkward with that. I've said before, I'll
Yeah.
say it again. I could deal with people.
Just not too many
I
people
just
at
don't
once.
like them. And it's not because I have this hatred of body. A lot changed with me after this traumatic thing that happened to me months earlier. And the crisis counselor that I've been said, the grief counselor, I had to see a grief counselor. Normally you see those when people like die and you can't deal with shit. But that's what I wound up doing, and it sucked. It really did. It's god awful.
Sometimes it's help to talk to somebody who actually knows.
And that counselor said the exact same thing. Write shit down. Let them know that you're feeling this and you're feeling that and what you feel you've done to them. And then I've been told by two different aspects. People are telling me all the time, you need to get help. I get freaking help. I do is what I'm advised to do, and then slap right back.
Yeah.
This is why when people give advice, and I'm very hesitant to take it.
Yeah, I
I'm a
feel you,
normal
man.
person when my head is clear and when I'm not got my anxiety in this huge glob of what's going on. They're trying to find a good chemical balance to where I'm basically calm and not worrying about things. I'm a hypochondriac. That's one of my phobias. I have 6 phobias. That's one of them. That's number one. I'm always self-diagnosing based off of symptoms that I'm having. I go straight to your good old friend Mayo, or not, sorry, what do they call that? WebMD, which is every hypochondriac's favorite place to go. And then you can go ahead and Google pain in your lower back, kidney disease, fuck. That's just, that's usually what
Or
I see.
you
What's going on,
Google
Chris?
on
Good to see you, buddy.
WebMD. Yeah. Hey, Chris, how you doing, brother? Or you Google PTSD or anxiety, and it says your fault.
Exactly. Or you'll just do something as simple as like, frequent urination, and you just try to see if it's related to anxiety, and it says, oh, it could be bladder cancer. It could be like it's the immediate most severe things that this thing diagnoses you in. And that's when the hypochondria kicks in, your anxiety goes in, it gets your heart rate up, and then you go to the doctor and they went like, are you nervous? Like your heart rate's high, and it's like, I have anxiety. Then they prescribe you pretty much anxiety meds. They give you a blood test to confirm that these issues aren't going on. My anxiety's had me spiked since the moment all of this happened, from the moment the incident occurred. And I thinned down because of it. I wasn't thick or like heavy, but I was at like 175. Now my weight's like at 142, I think was the last weight that I got. So like I lost about 30 pounds
30,
in
40.
30, 40 pounds in 9 months, which I think is normal. People who exercise probably average that in that time frame.
Yeah.
But,
I
that
mean, it's like for me, I used to weigh 186 until I started walking a lot because of all the chest pain.
that's what I was doing. I walked a lot. I walked and talked on the phone a lot with people to help cope with things, and that's just how I dealt with it. I was learning how to talk my feelings out through a friend who's no longer here. She passed away last summer or last fall. So like with that being said, I couldn't really do much with that after that. I tried,
Yeah.
but that is what that is. I'm an open book for the most part when it comes to me basically trying to, let people know what's going on. I'm just not willing to talk about the situation. Now,
Some people don't understand the whole situation.
exactly. And now to piggyback off of that with what, you said that you've missed a lot of things. You were asking about, what happened, in the world of
The
our,
RP and
yeah, the RP and stuff. Pretty much it started with one issue, led to another issue, and then we wound up jumping ship again. So that's pretty much how that worked out. I'm not gonna sit here and press blame because there could have been two sides to that. One person was a bother simply because I mentioned it in the beginning. This is not gonna end well, and it didn't. So I had to go from writing scripts to constantly basically playing it by ear because things just kept on changing, and then like there was sometimes real life moods being put into and I was confused with that. I'm like, okay, how the fuck do I basically write off of this? I can't. Mentally blocked, so I'm just gonna play everything off by ear. And then as we went to the newer place, it got better because it was a clear head, clear conscience. Didn't have to worry about when that moment was going to happen when, oh shit, this happened again. We didn't have to worry about that. But now, like, the mindset I have right now is just like, how do I put this in the best terms that I possibly can?
it got fought.
No, it's just, in a sense, right now, I kind of feel like if I could quote what somebody, and I'm going to quote the person who is causing me the most pain right now in my life, but
I don't know who it is because of the way they said it.
Well, yeah, it was, something they said the day they walked out that door. And that was sometimes some things just aren't salvageable. You can't fix it. Some things just aren't worth the fixing. And at this point in my time, I was going through my mind and jotting stuff down last night, and I cannot figure, the only thing I could basically make a play off of is the role that I play with the club itself. That's all I've done since I started 5M was MC crap. And then I did the occasional cop or EMS kind of stuff, but that, if there was a script for that, I'd be using it. But, I'd be doing a little bit more of that, a little bit less of the other civilian type things. But in retrospect, I've had my share of people DM me saying there's staleness there, and then on the opposite side, the same thing. And it's just so much pent up tension just because of everybody's emotions are different. Some people are more patient than others, some people aren't. Some people are able to maintain their headspace to where like it doesn't wander, some can't. My main focus when I'm basically in the game is to focus on the role play at hand, because especially if I'm streaming it, I can't fuck that up. I fuck up one line, or I go off script, or not off script, but if I go what we call out of character too many times, that stream is botched. That's it. Dead. Hello, Sugar Bear. Ouch. That actually kind of hurt just now. I just hit my head on something.
You don't.
Oh, dude, I'm either like either I'm growing or my room is shrinking. I don't know, but
I say the room is shrinking like shit.
I've literally could sit here and tell you that there's just it's a dead zone. And, there was an interference, unfortunately, in the roleplay, and at that point, it's just, how do you come back from that? You don't.
Yeah.
You just pave a new road and just do that. And it's a little bit harder to do that, and I take that as a challenge, because at that point, I got to reconstitute a reasoning. Today, I took a poll in my Discord, and I was just like, what did the poll say? I'll take a look. All right.
It said live.
Well, that's not what I meant, but the poll that was put into there was, I'm going to let you all decide Josh's fate over the course of the next couple episodes. A, live. B, die.
Live?
C, alcohol relapse and just spun out of control. Or D, disappear. I was hoping, and there's a reason behind this. I was hoping a lot of people to say D, disappear. Why? It pretty much would be able to bring people to what the story on the opposites, and everybody's point of view would have turned out to be if he just basically did not exist anymore.
Well, the easiest way to disappear is just go, what is that place, off of GOH, right where the law camp is, go up there.
I'm against suicide RPs. Always have, always will. Now, I get it. You're probably thinking, like, well, like, you were on cuffs and almost fell off a billboard. It never would have happened. I wouldn't have taken it that far. That's why I was really hoping that some people would have the presence of mind to basically add on to this and basically be like, oh, we're going to go stop this, and this is what's going to happen now. I was trying to involve as many people around me as I possibly can. I like to involve people in roleplay. I don't like to leave people out. That's not what I do. If we're in a server and there's people in there, multiples, I want to get as many involved as possible. That's just how I roll. I don't leave people out. I don't do that shit. It's stupid. You don't leave people out. If you have a community, there's a community for a reason. Use it.
Actually went up onto the Vinewood sign after you did that.
Yeah, the Vinewood sign thing was a stupid thing, but like at the same time, the thing was I almost fell off that bitch accidentally, and at that point I'm like, well, he fell and he's dead. I can't fix that.
I actually fell off of it. You do not survive that thing unless you got.
It's kind of easy to do is fall off. Yeah, I literally fell the fuck off.
Unless you're on PC and you got God mode on, you do not survive that.
Well, that was the thing. Like, I was really close to falling off, and then that's when, like, Rebels showed up, and then so on and so forth. Everybody else kind of came by and fixed it.
Really just took that put God mode on, and just took that dive.
God mode doesn't exist only to admins at that point. So, like, at that point, I was not an admin on Cuffs. I just had a very small V menu where I only had access to certain things. So if I would have fell, I was surely fucking dead. Now, in the aspect, if people would have picked die, that would have been easy enough. I could have just simply got with Bradders and been like, double cross. You're a cartel boss. All they care about is money. But like, all it's good.
The best way.
Take
your taser and just tase them and make them shoot you.
That would be okay. That's provocatively stupid, and I say that because I'm just gonna walk up, be like, I don't want to work with you no more. Tase, kill me, pff, dead. Fuck dead. Like, it doesn't go that way. What's going on, Javel? But that it wouldn't play out that way. I would have to think of something very smart and very logical for a death scene. So that's why I was hoping the disappear concept, because in a sense, if that character never would have existed, I think everybody's RP would have been fine, and the events that transpired on that said server would not have happened. I blame myself for the shit that happened there, because how I took that lost RP was I took it as high as I can go. And it made people uncomfortable because of how, like, they don't understand how prospects are really treated. Now, you don't shoot them in the head and shit, but they do get ass kickings for not listening. They are treated shitty verbally. That's just how that is. If you've watched Mayans, if you watched Sons of Anarchy, if you've even watched Gangland, where they've done, Hell's Angels and shit, how they treat their prospects is like utter dirt and garbage. That's just how that is. There's no stopping it. I totally understand how people got uncomfortable because it got intense. And that was the whole idea why everybody on that community loved the roleplay that we did, because I was always intensifying it. Or I raised the bar. And I would just bring these forms of roleplay that people didn't bother to bring or even think about even using. I'm a gutsy human being when it comes to that kind of stuff, when it comes to fun things. I'll take a chance on anything once. I'll try anything once in that aspect. But
holy shit, 6 likes. Fucking A.
God damn. I've only been live for 20 minutes. But that's just the concept of it.
And only 6 likes. Shit, yeah.
And everybody picked A, which was live. And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, give me a reason why he should live. I get it. It's for the benefit of the Sons of Anarchy episodes that they've been seeing. From the 5
gave. I don't think.
Nobody gave a reason except you, and they said the reason why is because just play it out and see where it goes.
Yeah.
I've seen plenty of times where the fuck that's gonna go. And the thing is like people are seeing the rift between the two. And it's just like...
And see, B Gaming didn't even give a reason for his answer either, so...
He won't. He won't. And the thing is, he'll send me a DM or something like that to kind of be self-explanatory. Now...
Oh, speaking of that bullshit, okay, I got it off in your server.
I didn't see...
Nobody can DM me.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see nothing. But for the most part, for the better lack of judgment, is people have seen the rift and they've questioned it and like, you know, this, and this, and all he does is yell. It was all in character. When I was getting intensifiedly angry between like these fights between two characters, it's all in character. I'm not personally mad at somebody over something like that. That's not what I
actually had to explain it to that one person about prospect in real life versus gaming.
How's it going, James's wife? Welcome.
Hey Tater, how you doing?
Oh, that's Tater. I forgot. She has a nickname.
Yeah, in real life.
I'm past that though. It's like, you know, I have no hopes of ever being able. I have no hopes or expectations of being able to go back there. Did I make an appeal? Yes, I did. Simply for the fact that I owed an explanation for my actions. I wanted some time to cool off, rethink my process, and then do it. Wherever that lands, it lands. I can't do nothing about that. But the thing is, when it comes to the roleplay I'm in now, people are seeing, like I said, they're seeing the rifts. And it's like, you know, what are you guys going to do? Honestly, do not know. I don't know.
The only thing you can do is...
You can't force something to... You can't force something that isn't working anymore to freaking work. And the thing is, people are like, well, how do you guys get past of all that history? Everybody knows these characters having this. There's ways to get around that.
You just write a new backstory.
No, you don't write a new backstory. Because what that does is that turns that into a very bad transcript. What you do with that is that you basically create another layer. You hop onto that layer and be like, okay.
Kind of like what you did in the beginning. You made it... You said, okay, this character is walking away from the biker style. I'm going to go...
Exactly. There you go. Good. That's the layering that I'm talking about. If you use proper layering, that works. But...
What's up, Tater?
In that aspect, at the exact same time, this newer layer would be like, okay, obviously things weren't working out. Separations and divorces happen every day. People have recommended that. And basically just RPing, signing this, and then transferring ownership of this, and then pretty much just... The club life for me ain't gonna change. I already spent a shit ton of money on the fucking shit. I'm not gonna, like, not use it.
Within that 9 hours of streaming, you spent all the in-game cash that you had on that?
No. On the equipment, the cuts. I paid for those. I had them designed myself and ordered them from a website. I bought the bike model that I ride on. Those
you're talking about that chopper.
Yeah, no, it's a Dyna. Don't ever call that a chopper again. Don't ever do that again. But,
looks like a freaking chopper though.
But that bike and the cuts, the vest, I paid for those. In total, I spent at least $600 on that shit. They're all specially made. They're replicas from the TV show's Patches, so pretty much just stamped into it with an LS rocker at the bottom, and then so on and so.
$600 you could have.
My investments are well. How do I put this?
Your investments is money that you invest in something.
I invested exactly. My investment was into the project from the moment I thought about it, which was when I was still on Cusp. But the thing was, they already had 2 MCs. I wasn't going to throw a third one in there, and I'm pretty sure Onyx didn't want that, and I didn't want to, disrespect him by asking. That's just that's just not how I operate. I have that
Yeah.
respect, and I'm sorry if I'm talking kind of fast, but like I said at the beginning, I only have an hour. I'm only home for an hour, so I'm on my lunch break, so I decided I'd just
See.
do this now instead of at 2, 3 in the morning when I get off of work, or 1 in the morning, whatever it may frickin' be, and no one's gonna see it till the next day. So I'd rather get the people here now.
Let me
Um,
get that fucking bought up before
I did do
you know.
something, but in that aspect, that's basically the direction where I kind of felt it. I have no idea where it's gonna go. Um, I retitled the stream and I forgot to repost it to YouTube. That's on me. When I get home tonight, I'll do that. I'm not sure exactly how.
You retitled the stream, huh?
Yeah, I put that in my announcements on my Discord and yours. The
Oh
Lost
yeah.
Boy.
Fuck.
It's not a matter of
Which
him
one
being
was
lost in his head space again. He's not mentally in that mindset. It's just like the confusion of everything from like this. It's like the second time they've moved states, and then everything kind of just fallen into a big dog pile.
Yeah.
And now on top of that, it's just like these outside of the game issues that I'm having. Okay, I have a tendency to up and leave Discords back and forth when I'm upset, or if
Yes,
I'm
I'm
feeling
too
if
aware of that.
or if my mental health is at this point where it's just like, nope, I can't deal with anything. That's just what I do. Now, one person had a pretty good analysis of what that is. That's and I forgot who it was. I forgot who it was. It was somebody who's a viewer on here, and I think it might have been. I can't remember, man. My memory is poop. But for the most part,
Uh,
it was said that that's this person's way of saying that they're trying to reach out for help. That's their way of saying, "Hey, I've fallen. I can't get off of this." Um,
help! I'm falling and I can't get up.
there you go. Or that's a sign that somebody's dealing with some stuff, and that's just like, "Oh fuck, something's wrong." Other people just take it as, "Well, what the fuck," you know. And not just that. I get 50.
Everybody's only 21 on
I had
this
a
part.
total of 60 discords sitting in my Discord itself. 60 different channels. I had to clear out a lot of them because ping, 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 ping. A lot of them were just cancer to the ears because of how many times they get pinged, like spam, 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 spam. So it's like, fuck. When does this nightmare
And
gonna
I
end?
got like,
I tried
I think
muting
I'm
them.
in.
Apparently my Discord is broken. I can't mute anything. If it's muted, it says it's muted. I'll still hear pings from it. So that's just it
You got to
sucks.
turn off the notification.
And you know what? I didn't think about that part. So like that's different. Like I used to be a part of X's server. I left that because it was constantly spammed. I was part of Rise, but there was so many spam pings, and I've been trying to do, at the time when I was doing dev work and doing artwork, when I'm in my Discord doing art stuff,
Yeah.
and it's pinging, it's just like it's breaking my concentration. So it's just like, okay, it's nothing against Rai. It's just like the little dudes in there that are always yakking back and forth. And when I'm upset, that's just how I deal with things, and because it's just like I don't want people thinking I'm tracking them. I don't want people thinking I'm keeping an eye on them. I don't do that. That's not how I function. If I'm invited somewhere, I'll know. How I'll know? I'll be verbally told, or I'll get sent an invite to something. If I'm not, I pretty much I take a step back and I do my own thing. Um, but my mentality is of um, my mentality of that is, if it offends you, I'm sorry. If it bothers you, I do apologize. It'll
Either
take
way,
sometimes it takes me a
it's a
day,
sorry.
sometimes it takes me a few hours to a day or so to figure it out. I've
And like we
always
discussed earlier, I had to take time away from your stream just to get my shit back in order.
Well, yeah, I noticed that because you and I got into it on one of those streams where basically you were just trying to help and I lashed out. That's the first time I've lashed out at
Yeah.
anything in a while. And like I told you earlier, I apologize for that. I'm not that kind of person
Oh,
that just does that. And, I've had my
and
fair
then on
share.
top of that, I finally found out that with the stress test that I had to do, and then watching all the rehashed content, basically, it,
Exactly. And you were telling me all about that. Like I said, we've been talking for like the last couple hours about what's been going on these
yeah,
past.
even when you was at work riding on that dang forklift.
Yeah, and we were talking about how, like, today's events and then yesterday's, and then, I was catching you up to speed of what's been going on, and it's
And then
sad.
watching me slap the bots around in the server.
Yeah, you were slapping the fuck out of them bots. But like I've kind of like I don't like how I conduct myself or how I basically try to calm myself down or try to basically put myself in this little. I don't like it, but it's just how I've always been. That's how things are for me. And
And that's the thing about mental health. It gets easier, but before it gets easier, you gotta ask for help. And the hardest thing is
and the
asking
thing
for the
was, I
help.
took everyone's advice who's told me get help. You need some help to get the help to help yourself. I did that, and I was given a recommendation, and it's just like I wasn't trying to BS people by telling them how I felt in the situation. That's how I felt. You want to hear what I'm feeling? That's my attempt of opening myself up emotionally. And they want to, say, well, that's bullshit. Well, you just shut me back down. And it's going to trigger an anxiety attack. That's just what happens. It's like, well, what the hell? You want me to open up, and I do, and you want to use it as a flaw. Or like, yeah, that's crap. Like, I don't want it. Like, I don't want people thinking that kind of stuff. I want to be able to open up to people and not have to be judged.
Yeah.
It's one thing to tell me how you're feeling and how what I do affects you, but it's another thing when it's just like whatever. My mom has done it, my brother's done it. You know,
At some point or another, somebody's family done it.
my family they know my mental health is tricky and it's very very difficult to deal with me as a person. So they're very delicate in how they talk to me. They it sucks, but sometimes they walk eggshells around me when it comes to my emotions. They don't want to ask a question wrong. So they try to avoid anything personal. They'll just ask something direct, and it's usually how they kind of get me to kind of come out of the show as being direct, not immediately attacking the situation at hand. They'll work their way to that point, and then I kind of slowly draw myself out of that. So that's pretty much how that is. Now, nowadays, I think I'm a little bit better with that. It's just lately it's been really tough on me. And the reason
What
being
was really tough
is
when
my
you
little
wasn't able to
boy. My
work.
little boy is in the middle of this huge thing,
Debacle.
debacle. And the thing is, it's my fault he's there. It's my fault he's in the middle of
Actually,
it. That's totally my fault. And, I know what you're going to say. That's not entirely true. But at the same time, if I would have gotten myself checked out a year or so earlier and got this thing figured out, I wouldn't be here all that time later. That's just how that is. If I would have got that dealt
yeah.
with a year later. That's just
Hey, look, Sherry popped in.
hola. But that's just how I've literally been living. And, it's my fault he's in the middle of it. And,
Well, to be honest,
the
she's
knowledge
at fault too.
the knowledge that I've basically earned that I found out today, my heart stopped. I passed out in the trailer. The
So,
guys had to basically splash water on my face to wake me up. They almost had to call an ambulance. All this crap.
oh, if it was me, I would have put ice cold water on you.
They dumped like water on my face. They tried shaking me up. It took them about 5 minutes to get me up. It was bad. It was ugly. I was
Oh no,
embarrassed, but
I
they're
wouldn't
like,
have
they
shook
sat me
you. I would
down.
have smacked you like I slept a
They
bot.
they took me outside like you need to go home. Like, dude, I can't. I can't afford to go home. It's just like I don't know what happened. My guess was I had a fit and didn't know. It sometimes happens.
Yeah.
It happens out of freaking nowhere. And they're usually stress induced. But as soon as I read that, I was already dealing with a stressful day. Then I read what I read, and my heart kind of felt like it stopped. Next thing you know, I was out of it, and I didn't know what happened.
What was you reading?
It's when well, the thing is, I have a feeling that such and such, code on code, is sometimes El Guacho, so I'm not going to mention El Problemo. Um, I feel like I get creeped on, so I could tell you outside of the podcast exactly what transpired,
Yeah.
but it was enough to, I wouldn't say I was already heartbroken, but devastatedly demolish my heart. There you go. That would be the perfect word for that. Period. And that's what I said. That was the last thing I saw. And then I wake up, my phone's on the ground. I'm like all contorted up against a trailer wall, laid on the ground. I got 3, 4, 5 guys, like trying to make sure I'm all right and splashing water. Like, what happened? Like, I don't know. Like, did you faint? Are you dehydrated? What happened? I was like, well, I couldn't catch my entirety of recollect the situation, and that's when one of my closest friends that I work with there, the fuck is his name?
Joe Blow will call him.
No, his name is Artie. Artie came up to me, and he's like, I think he had one of his fits. He wasn't having a good day. He didn't look good when he came into work, which I didn't. I was tired. I was mentally fatigued. And
you look like shit. You felt like shit.
I had my coffee with me. I forced myself to go to work today because we were already short people. I don't like letting my team down. I have a leadership thing. I don't like letting my team down. I have a leadership role inside my mindset. That's just how the fuck I am. That's exactly how I am. I have a leadership thing where I'm like my dad. I'm very much like my old man. My dad had a pride problem out the ass. My dad would go to work puking his guts out with 100-degree fever and go his ass to work, and he'll go the whole shift feeling like shit. Well, this guy does the exact same thing. And the thing is, and when I do try to take that day off, I'll get, guilt tripped into going in. That's just how it's always been with my life of work. Oh, well, man, we need you, man. You do a lot of good things. Like, you don't butter me up, asshole. But butter me up, and when I get there and I fuck up, you go and transpire something totally different.
Sorry, ballers. Did y'all want y'all's car back?
Huh? Oh, I didn't know what you were fucking talking about, but whatever. Anywho. To make in conclusion, because my hour is practically almost up, I'm gonna walk through those doors a couple minutes late. Not that I give a shit. But that's pretty much what's been transpiring over the course of today, yesterday, and the backlog that you pretty much have missed. In other words, I'm not very healthy right now until I get myself some more tests done and other things. But yay, now everybody at work knows that I have like a seizure disorder. That's wonderful to know. I was trying to keep that on the down low. Well, that sucked. I saw bleh. But anywho, guys, that's it for this one. I only had an hour. I thought I'd figure I'd get it out of the way rather than coming home from work at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning and doing this, and then there's nobody there. I was reluctant to have Chris there yesterday, so.
And today you got 6 people.
Well, probably more, depending on what the fuck I'm looking at.
I'm looking at 7 light.
But anywho, guys, I'm going to head back out. As much as I really don't want to, I still feel like absolute shit. But anyway, probably just the depression kicking the shit out of my body because I have body aches out the ass. But I will see you guys in the next one. I will be streaming Saturday night after my kid goes to bed. Like I said, I did not mean to take the other one down. I meant to rename it, and for some reason, but I'm just going to rename it, process it, do that. That's going to be it. Drop a like if you haven't. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button if you like what you see. I do podcasts usually twice a week now, and I'm going to be sticking to game streams. I'm going to try to get at least one out daily. that's the plan to keep my mind from freaking ticking the way that it's ticking. So I'm gonna head back out. My scanner was pretty full before I left. They had like 3 freaking trailers on it, but you know, when Jesse's not there, this fat bald asshole comes in and just pretty much tags us with a bunch of shit. So really appreciate you guys for coming to hang out for the little bit of time that I had. I'm going to try to be around a little bit more. I think I have the Gaming Bros podcast tomorrow. Or not tomorrow.
Saturday.
Saturday. I think it was my
Sunday, right?
Saturday or Sunday.
Taylor,
I think is my rotation. It's
Taylor,
either
you still in the chat? Is it Saturday or Sunday when the TGBO with Josh is going to be on?
It's either it's got to be Saturday, but it's one of those. It would probably be earlier in the day. I think it's like around 7, which means I'll have to push my stream a little bit later, which is fine. I'll be on there with them. I don't know exactly what we'll be discussing, but I'm kind of excited for that. Never been a part of anything that had to do with those two very, very kind men, and you know, their very kind wife.
That's an honor and a privilege right there to talk with them boys.
It definitely is. You know, they've been very kind to me. You know, James's wife has been very kind as well. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I will talk to you guys soon, and live that revelation, guys. Also, there's a new logo for the channel. I just haven't had a chance to change it on the banner. I'm also working on something else as well, art-wise. But, yeah, guys, I will see you guys later. And take care of yourselves, each other, stay healthy, all that good stuff.